Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start out this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well, teach well while learning truth, 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, service scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, your children, shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, going to be building off another video from the brother, the Hopeful Elect 3. And we're just going to, be building off of this video through the Spirit. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to play it. And then I'm going to grab a few precepts. I pray this lesson be edifying to you brothers and you few sisters that may come across it. With that being said, fair use.
Coming, because once these right here shut down all the way, then there's no more leaving. And when you can't leave, you can't run. See, because we have, military along the borders. And you're not going to be able to escape through those. And once all of the airports are shut down, well, you're not going anywhere there either. And when all the airports are shut down, then the only thing in the skies, well, it's going to be the military. And we already see the distribution of the National Guard through a handful of states. So if you're on the naughty list, you old greasy, dirty, swampy politicians, well, I hope you're ready, because they're coming.
All right. And we hear what it is the guy said in the video, and that's absolutely what's coming to America, man. You see, what we see ultimately in its beginning stages is martial law, and these devils, they're about to lock this place America down, man. That's why it's no coincidence Donald Trump is talking about invoking the Insurrection Act of 1807, man. Right? Which is martial law, basically. That's what's going to come to this place America, because ultimately this devil knows that he had but a short time to try to establish his enterprise, his new world order. And this is what we see this man doing. He's coming down with that great wrath, as the scripture said that he would. Right? They're showing their horns. Right? So I'm actually grab this precept right here that I got. Right? 2 Corinthians chapter 2, and this is verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan, meaning our adversary, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan on the left-hand side, should get an advantage over us," right? "For we are not ignorant of his devices," you see. So we see everything that these devils are setting up. We know what they're ultimately trying to establish, man, their enterprise, right? So we're not ignorant of these things. That's why, like I said, they're deploying National Guard to all of these different states. That's why they're creating chaos and ultimately bringing in the order. Right? Ordo ab chaos. You see, they create the problem. They look at the reaction of the people and they come in with the solution. Right? And the solution, like I said, is to really lock this place America down and ultimately to implement in this RFID microchip, which we know will come because it's a part of prophecy, man. You see, that's what it all goes back to. You see? So I'm going to grab this right here. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 14. And it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Woe meaning destruction, because that's what's coming. You see? Verse 15, "For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh," meaning near, it's close, it's fastly approaching, right? "And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." You see, this is what's about to be taking place real soon here in this place, America, because we ultimately see everything that's going on in this country. You got massive job layoffs. You got people being fired left and right. You got the price of living going up, people being, evicted from their houses, poverty at an all-time high. So, everybody is just in that spirit ready to crash out. And the only thing it's going to take is one more little event to really, break the straw on the camel's back, man. And these people gonna, just bug out, man, and lose their minds. Hey, these devils know that's coming, man. That's why, like I said, they're putting National Guard into these cities, man. They're not doing this stuff just because they can do it. No, they're doing it because ultimately it's all for a bigger plan that's coming down the pipeline, man. It's all for an agenda, right? That's why they're setting these things in place. You see? But I'm going to read it again. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. That modern day sword is the gun. So you're going to have race wars, class wars, civil wars, gender wars. All of these things are about to happen soon in America, man. You see? And that's going to be that chaos that these devils need ultimately to bring in this new system, which is what I said, going to bring in the RFID microchip, right? Because that's coming. It says, verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, right? You're going to have people uprising and fighting against the government, man. You see? And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings, no princes. That's going into, the police, the government, and all of these other different bureaucracies, right? People are not going to regard them in this time because, like I said, they're not going to be able to lead the cities. You see, everything is just going to be chaotic. You see, business are going to be failing. So many people are going to just be, homeless and in poverty, and it's just going to be crazy, man. You see, especially when these devils hit this grid, because we know that the power is going to go off as well, man. That's coming, right? Because in order for them to bring this new system online, they got to do away with the one that we're currently under, right? So this place going to go down real soon, man. And that's when they really know the chaos is going to break out, And it says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? This is verse 17. It said, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? And the reason you won't be able to walk around freely in cities is because guess what? You're going to have military checkpoints. You see, you're going to have, security clearances to where, if you want to ultimately go from state to state, city to city, you're ultimately going to have that charagma, man, that MOTB, because that's really what it all goes back to. It's about having full control, man. That's what this devil ultimately wants to achieve, you see? So that's what it means, right? And these is all part of those draconian measures that this devil is bringing, right? And I looked up that word draconian measures on ChatGPT, and what popped up is draconian measures refer to extremely harsh or severe laws, rules, or actions, often involving strict punishments or excessive control, right? Because like I just said, that's what it's about, control, right? These devils want to have everybody microchipped and everybody under their complete subjection, man. That's what it's about with these devils, man. You see, and this is what everything ultimately leads up to, right? Because the MOTB is going to come because it's prophecy. It has to come to pass, you see. And in the midst of all of these things that are going to be happening, guess what? They're going to slip it in, right? And it says, especially when the response seems disproportionate to the situation, right? And this is the origin. It says the term comes from Draco, a 7th century BCE Athenian lawmaker whose legal code was notorious for his cruelty. According to legend, his laws were written in blood rather than ink because they were so severe, even minor offenses could be punished by death, right? And that's what's ultimately coming to America, man. That's why, as it tells us in Isaiah, right? Let me grab that. Chapter 19. And I'm going to read verse 4. That's why we see Donald J. Trump doing everything that he's doing. Because ultimately, he's the man that these elites are using. Really, is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the Lord. He's using this man on the left-hand side to bring in these draconian measures, man. To bring in these strict laws, man. You see, because like I said, these devils are at their end, man. And they about to come down ferociously, knowing that they have but a short time. Right. But it says, and the Egyptians, talking about you Babylonians, you people here in America, right? The good old US of A. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. That's talking about Donald Trump, man. You see, look at everything this man has been doing since he came in the so-called White House. He's not regarding you people's constitutional rights. Everything that he's doing is violating the, Posse Comitatus Act, right? Which, you can't ultimately deploy military guards in these American cities unless there is some type of chaos. But we see that Trump is just doing it just because, like I said, these devils are moving full speed with their agenda, man. Right. That's what it's all about, trying to establish this new world order, man. Right. So it says, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts, man. And like I said, Trump is that fierce king, man. And guess what? He's doing the bidding of the elites. You see, the elite banking families, the ones at the top that are ultimately giving him the orders of the things to do. And he's executing it for them, man. But like I said, it all goes back to the MOTB microchip, because that's ultimately what we see the stage being set up for. Because who you think is going to be the one implementing the microchip, going door to door? It's going to be the military, man. That's what's coming. Right. So I'm going to actually grab that. Right. Because this is what's coming, man. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And I'm going to read it in the KJV. It says, and he, who is that he is talking about? These elite banking families, man. Those that ultimately want full control over everything on the earth, man. Those that want to establish their satanic world on earth, man. You see, it says cause of all, right? Because this is going to come upon all the world, man. Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark, right? That goes into charagma, man. right? Which is an implantable device the size of a grain of rice, man, that these devils are going to be ultimately, trying to tell people to take, right? And we know that if you're not of the Lord's elect, you're going to take this device, man. You see? But it says a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he or she that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And you're going to have a lot of people take this thing, man, because ultimately these Babylonians, they can't go without buying and selling. You see, these people love this country too much, man. So when this devil really locks down everything, and tell these simple-minded people that, oh, you got to take this in order to function in society. Oh, you want to be deemed as, not being a T word, or you want to be deemed as somebody that's a citizen in our eyes. You got to take this stamp, man. You got to take this mark, right? And a lot of these people are going to do exactly that because, like I said, this is what we see everything ultimately being set up for. That's why they're putting the military in place. You see, that's why they're doing all of these things they're doing, man. You see, because this is what's coming down the pipeline, and ultimately it has to happen because it's prophecy and it will happen. Right. And I'm actually go to a precept just on that real quick through the spirit, because these things are coming, man. Right. This is Habakkuk chapter 2. And I'm going to read verse 3. And I'm going to read it in the KJV. It says, for the vision, right, which are the prophecies, all of these things are prophecy, right? Martial law coming to America, this place being locked down, race wars, class wars, violence. You see, civil upheavals of the people. The MOTB microchip. Hey, all of these things are coming real soon, man. Right. That's why it's no coincidence. You got the guy in Britain. See, Keir Starmer, I believe his name is, where he just basically told everybody in the UK and in England that if you ultimately want to work, you got to take, a digital ID. And we know what that's all alluding to, because like I said, it's about control, man. These devils want to have full control. You see? So it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, you see. So all of these things that the men of the Lord have been warning you, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, both men and women, that is coming to America is going to happen, man. And like I said, we see the beginning stages of it already being set in place, man. You see? But it's going to get worse, man, because everything that we see ultimately happening in this country is only the beginning, man, of greater, evils that's about to come down the pipeline soon come. You see, that's why in the scriptures it tells us it's going to be a time like no other, man, when things really heat up to the point it's going to get to. Right. And I'm actually grab a precept on that through the spirit. This is St. Matthew chapter 24, and I'm going to read verse 21. Because this is what's coming to America, man, and the world, but mainly this place, Babylon. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, right? Suffering, hell, you see, perils, man. What does it say in 2 Timothy 3:1? In the last days, perilous times shall come. And that's what it's about to be here soon in this place, America. Everywhere you look, it's going to just be danger, man. That's what's coming to this place. All right. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be, you see. So we coming into a time worse than anything ever known to man. You see, worse than 70 AD, worse than the transatlantic slave trade, worse than the days of Noah, the first death, the flood, worse than the time of Sodom and Gomorrah and the 5 cities that were burned during the time of Lot. You can put all of that together and it's not going to ultimately amount to what's going to come in these times, man. You see, because this devil's about to come down like a madman, you see, knowing that he had but a short time. You see, all to try to establish his, like I said, his new world order system, man, which we know that's going to fail, man. You see, how Bashim Yahushua is going to disappoint this devil, man. Right. And I'm going to grab that precept real quick, too. This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. And it says, he, who is that he? That's talking about the Lord, man. Disappointeth, right? The devices of the crafty. Who are the crafty? These elites, man. These devils, these Edomites at the top, man, who's trying to ultimately, establish their totalitarian government on the earth, right? Their order. It says so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. What is their enterprise? Their new world order. Because ultimately we know it's not going to succeed, man. The Lord is going to take this devil down, right? What does it say right here? I got to grab it. This Job chapter 20, verse 23. It says when he is about to fill his belly, right? When he thinking that he's going to ultimately micro C-hip everybody. You see, because mainly who he's trying to C-hip are the Israelites, you see, because he ultimately wants to have control over the Lord's people, man. Right. But the elect of the Lord's people, they're not going to bow down to the knee of Baal, man. You see, they're not going to take that charagma. Right. But you 2/3 and you damn heathens, you people going to line up to take it. Right. And you're going to be destroyed. It says when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. And the Lord is going to do that by those thermonuclear missiles, which is ultimately going to be the final plague that destroys America, man. Because ultimately, once this devil brings in this C-hip, he's ultimately ushering in his fall. He's ushering in his ending. You see, because after that prophecy, then guess what? World War III. And after World War III, guess what? The Lord returns in the midst of that, delivers the elect, and this devil goes down, man. You see, so this man's New World Order is not going to succeed, man, at all, you know. But yeah, this is what's coming down the pipeline, you see, because it is prophecy and these things will come to pass. And we are in that time of season where, like I said, these things are manifested, man. Right. But with that being said, I pray this lesson be edifying, just something quick through the spirit. Till the next time, I'm going to say, Kwam Yasharala Shalom to the elect. Shalom.